Hi, my name's Kathy Millett and this week we're making frosty bushes. Now these are really easy to make, there's only like 3 or 4 steps to them. So follow along and see how you can do the same thing if you're doing a snow or ice diorama. So this is my diorama that's got snow and ice in it. We've done the snow previously. And what I'm looking to do is to add some bushes here that have got snow on them. I want a couple of different types, but mostly I just want it to be like brambles. So these are really arching long branches. They trail into the water and they come down here. Having said that, I want them to be removable at the moment whilst I work on the water because I haven't got that far yet and I'm still thinking about the best way to do it. And I'm going to make it out of one of my favourite products for bushes, rubberised horsehair, and maybe a little bit of sea moss as well. Sea moss is a natural product, you can get it all over the world, and it comes out with beautiful looking branch structures, and these branch structures are excellent when you're going to make winter plants where it's all about the structure, there's no leaves on there. So you can see this sea moss has a wonderful structure to it. And you just need to tease the pieces apart. So you can see there's a few leaves on this, you just need to get your tweezers and pull them out. It is a natural product. You can get it in different sizes, which is basically just how big the plant was when they harvested it. And it's so useful for doing really quick, easy trees. Remember, this is an O-scale diorama, so this could be a HO tree, an O-scale bush. And the rubberised horsehair, I literally just tear it apart. That flat outer bit goes on the underneath, and then I can put it there. And any bits that look a little bit like loops, I just snip and tease them down and out. And you can cut off any bits that just look a bit weird. So I'm going to build this up into one big mass here. And if we look at the pictures, we can see that it is just a big mass of brambles. There's not a lot else going on here. So have a look at it from all angles. And this will get glued down a little, I think. There we go. And the last thing I want to do is just put in some of these super trees just in places, just to give it a little bit of height and a little bit of variety of shape. So otherwise it just looks like you plonked a huge amount of the same thing down on it, which you have at the moment. So there we go, everything's in place, it's higher towards this back, which is the corner. It looks just like the bushy mound I want it to look like. So I'm very happy with it. I'm just going to snip a few more loops. There we go. Now I'm going to take this outside and spray it brown. So you can see I've got some masking tape which is just folded over and it's slightly sticky, holding this in place. Now these are far too pale, so the first thing we're doing is spraying on some brown spray paint. You can use anything you like really, but bear in mind you will see this final colour. I've used Cobra, it's a graffiti artist spray paint. It has a really nice coverage and it's not expensive, but you can use anything you can get your hands on. The next layer is a clear Halfords automotive lacquer. It's basically a cellulose paint and it does smell, but it dries clear and it dries quite quickly. It is acting as a glue at this instance, so you just want it to go on quickly and then as quickly as possible put the next layer on, which is micro balloons. Now micro balloons are very, very fine. They're actually a resin filler. And I will say, if you're using any of these inside, you must put a mask on. Those micro balloons will make you cough and splutter, and this lacquer stinks and is not good for you. So you need an organic solvents respiratory mask, which is why I'm outside, putting up with the wind and everything else and all the other problems you get with doing stuff outside. If that all sounds a bit scary, not to worry, you can use hairspray instead. I think it's just slightly more yellow, which is why I tend not to use it, but it's a perfectly viable alternative. And actually, you'll get a thicker layer of snow doing that, and you'll end up with more of a snow look than an icy look. It's really down to what you want, and you probably should experiment with a few bushes to see which one you prefer. Well, that was an interesting interlude outside. I'm actually not going to glue these on now. They're sat here. And I'm going to put them in place so you can see them. They would just go like this on here, and they would very nicely blip over. But I still want to do all the resin on here. So I don't want them in place because it will be easier to pour the resin when it hasn't got bits of bush hanging into it. Well, at this point I did what you often do. I went and looked at some photos to remind myself what it looked like, and I thought, ooh, there's quite a lot of bramble leaves left on through a British winter. I guess it's not quite as cold as the other areas. So I started to add some leaves in to my diorama using MiniNatur, just maple foliage, but early fall because it's got a slightly dead look to it. Then it's as simple as tearing off little strips and putting them on. I just use normal white glue for this. It's just PVA washable glue actually, because it's what I had out for something else I was doing, and just put it in place. Now I will admit quite a lot of spare leaves fall off, and you may be quite happy to leave those spare leaves on the side, but I like to just pick them up and glue them on one at a time. You have to be in the right mood for it, but it does add on some of the sort of lower branches that I've got, it adds just a little bit of extra to it. Now we just need to make them look frosty. So I'm actually trying a Tamiya pearlescent clear instead of just a normal clear lacquer. Any clear, gluey, varnishy type spray will work to some extent, but this is a pearl clear. And then a quick spray. Don't forget to put your mask on because this stuff is noxious, and sprinkle with micro balloons, and we're done. There we go, simple. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, consider supporting me on Patreon. Enough said. For everyone else, ask me any questions in the comments below. I'm going to leave you with a few pictures of those final bushes.